I'll start by saying we did some really good testing, so I do believe we knew what we were jumping into. So not a lot of surprises. That's both, on the positive side and the negative side. So I didn't see a lot of curveballs, if you will. But what we did realize very quickly is even when I allude to those seasoned dispatchers, been doing it for 20 years, they know the market better than anybody. When we get into the nuVizz and we work on the route optimization, boy, that one really put us to the next level. We got multiple more stops per day out of drivers. We were able to, meet the time commitments from customers, and really nuVizz gave us that real-time ETA visibility to say, well, you know what, if I launch now, I can actually go two things before this appointment time, whereas before we may have been pretty reliant on go here first because I don't want to miss that appointment. So the route optimization and the real-time ETAs, that was a huge upside to us. And then because we jumped in, a while ago, we didn't know that it was solving some problems that were going to come up for us. So, customers were going to come to us and say, hey, if you want to continue to do business for us, we're going to need that image. We're going to need a picture of it on the doorstep, right? When we started with nuVizz, I didn't know that was going to be a requirement. And then by the time it became a requirement, nuVizz already had a solution for us. So on the nuVizz side, I've 24/7 customer support. I've never not gotten a response back. I know you've got, stateside support, you've got overseas support, and it doesn't really matter what time of day it is. I have dispatchers that are putting routes together at 2 o'clock in the morning. I have dispatchers that are, doing that activity late into the evening. And we always have a path. We have a clear escalation path even beyond just the general support. So 8 years into it, we're still having every other week support calls. Those calls being talking through any challenges, talking through enhancement requests, or even just getting clarity of what's in scope for the product. Because I will say the other thing, nuVizz, it's a different product than what I jumped into 8 years ago. And it's evolving to meet, its customers' need, which is me. And then it's evolving so that I can meet my customers' needs as we go. As you look at the customer base, and we touched on a little bit, but the expectations every year are higher and higher. And that's really what it is. There's a comfort factor for some people. They've been using XYZ agent in the market. I know Dan, the dispatcher, and he always answers the phone. That's not scalable. What we're looking for now is, as the volume increases, as our customer base goes out there, they need real-time information. That is the expectation here. They need to know that this order has went out for delivery. They need to know that this order has an ETA between 1 and 1:30 this afternoon. They need the visibility of this has delivered so they can get that information back to their customer. And then even, we look at the exception piece of it, which nobody wants to talk about the exception piece, but when it does happen, it is, okay, there's detention on this order, but I now have the visibility of, okay, here's when the driver pulled into the parking lot, here's when the driver left the parking lot. If there's discrepancies on the condition of the freight, we can always fall back to the image that's there. Here's a picture of what it looked like when we dropped it off. The location of the goods, we're getting notification that this has been misdelivered or potentially written to the wrong address. Those breadcrumb trails back to the driver, the information that we have to, I shouldn't say defend ourselves, but to, concretely state this is what happened with your order. So that's the back end exception management, along with just the real-time updates. That is the requirement now. And nuVizz gives me each of those milestones, even more than I need on those milestones, to provide our customers what they need to sell that ultimate service.